Wow, that was great, Stan. Thank you very much. Our next speaker, I'm going to read his CV because it's very impressive. Dr. Eugene Young, graduated from UCLA and Western University. He is a CEO and medical director of Impact Behavioral Medicine, clinical professor at USC, on the clinical faculty of Loma Linda University, Western University, Arrowhead Regional Medical Center, and Pomona Valley Medical Center at UCLA. He's on the American Board of Psychiatric Psychology and Neurology, and he is a child and adolescent psychiatrist. Okay, great. I asked for this segment because when I was in Taiwan, and I lived there for a while, they have a policy there that if you don't do well in school, you take a ruler and hit yourself. And that's the mentality there. I mean, it really hits home a little bit when I see. And honestly, that did not work well for me as an academic. Of course, once I hit college, the light bulb, I always compare it to a light bulb. That if you don't do well in school, and I remember the light bulb hit, I think I was in college, econ class. We were talking about Volcker and economics, and then suddenly, boom, it all hit me. But up to that point, I think if you don't address the issues to your child and let them know that everything's going to be okay, then there's some things that are going to be buried deep inside. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Young to discuss things like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. Just for a disclaimer, if one of you have questions for me, you folks can call 387-3388. Kind of funny in Mandarin Chinese. Actually, that's a Ben's phone number. And 387 means silly wife. My wife is here. I think all the speakers we have is really, really wonderful ideas, and the things that will be resonating pretty much the same, such as what Cecilia mentioned about apples. You know, apples, they just don't fall far from the family tree. Rhonda mentioned about life experiences, building the life experiences. Awesome, awesome. I think that'll be some of the things. That'll be some of the things that we can do as well. Grace, I think I have something for you. Yeah, Tony, who's the CEO, Tony Hsieh. I'll be talking about him a little bit. And Cherry, mentioned about praying for your kids. I remember my mom, praying for me as well. Anyways, this is a bonsai tree. I'm not quite clear, but do you know what kind of bonsai tree this is? Want to take a guess? Can you see it well?
Raspberry?
Raspberry, yeah. How much time do you think it takes to grow one of these bonsai trees? Probably about 4 or 5 inches, that's it, that big. 10, 15, 18, 20 years maybe. I think Ben has a baby, right? He just recently had a baby not so long ago. Yeah, he got about 18 years more to go, maybe 17. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next one is really to show that I'm locally grown here in South Pasadena. I went to San Marino High School. Yeah. So my experience was really here in Southern Cal. Next. So this is Tony Hsieh. How many have heard about Tony Hsieh? 1, Ben, 2. Oh, Grace did already. A few over here. Yeah, he just, Zappos. Before that was Link Exchange. Where did he sell it for what? Microsoft for $260 million. Yeah, and Zappos he sold it to Amazon for $1.2 billion. So he mentioned, he is page number 8. We kind of like the theme over here, 8. It's good for the Asians. 3 categories. One is academic. Academic means good grades, good SAT scores. If you belong to a math club, hey, that would work too. And he mentioned here that, most important part of all of this was which college your child ended up attending. And guess what? Harvard, we have mentioned it. They have the most prestigious bragging rights. Wow. I thought Stanford is up there, but Ronza mentioned it maybe next century. Since it's a long, long time from now. Second thing is career. Career things might maybe become a medical doctor, yeah, or maybe get a PhD. And Tony mentioned, going from Mr. to Dr. Hsieh. The third one is called musical instrument mastery. And something I think Tony kind of knew how to work hard and smart early on. Like Cherry kind of sat down with his kids with the piano, yeah? He mentioned that, when he was growing up, he had to learn 4 different musical instruments. Piano, violin, trumpet, and French horn. So what did he do? Over the weekends, he would have to practice, right, for maybe an hour on piano. So he would record the piano lessons for an hour. And then get up at 6 a.m. and play the recordings. So his mom and dad would think, whoa, yeah, he's practicing. Smart kid, making a lot of money. Next slide, please. So the question is, how to know if your child can handle your, I underline that, okay, and academic expectations. Yeah, I think Cecilia expressed that really, really well earlier already. Now, if they can really handle that, these will be the things you'll see. And this is really listed from Coach John Wooden. His kind of building blocks for a pyramid to success. What do we see? Enthusiasm, industry, cooperation, loyalty, self-control, alertness, initiative, yeah? Having a poise and a confidence. This will be the things that we see in kids who are actually able to handle the stress. Next, please. But you know what? Life happens. Life happens. This is just fresh off the press. October 2010 from our, what we call it, Orange Journal. Journal of American Academy of Child Adolescent Psychiatry. Guess what happened to the adolescents? A lot of people were surveyed, yeah? More than 10,000. About 32% got anxiety problems. What are anxiety problems? Worry, nervous, yeah? And maybe phobia, maybe OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, maybe post-traumatic stress disorder. How about behavioral problems? Like maybe very oppositional, very defiant, yeah, rebellious, what we call oppositional defiant disorder. Or they don't care for the rights of other people, what we call conduct disorder. Or even ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Mood problems like depression, yeah, like dysthymia, like bipolar disorder. Substance use disorder, about 10%, 11.4%. Alcohol, ecstasy, marijuana, opioids, yeah, all these different things, so amphetamine. Next. So when do I know? When can I know my kid cannot handle your academic expectations? These will be some of the signs and symptoms that we're watching out for. They're falling in terms of their academic performances. They're trying really, really hard and still having a hard time trying to get the grades that they want. A lot of worries, a lot of anxieties, yeah? Not wanting to go to school, not wanting to go to different activities, or having problems going to sleep at nighttime. They're very aggressive, very disobedient, not able to cope with kind of daily activities, routines that usually, hey, you know what, Johnny has no problem, how come? Crying all the time, how come irritable, how come fighting with me all the time now? Yeah, a lot of complaints, headaches, nausea, stomach aches, can't go to school, can't see, can't hear. A lot of things kind of watch out for will be the eating problems, especially among the Asian girls. Something what we call anorexia, yeah? Kind of like competitiveness, gotta be perfect. Things that we're gonna have to watch out for. Abuse of alcohol, tobaccos, and drugs and stuff. 9 years, yeah, at night. Some are running away from home. Some are getting really, really aggressive. Some are harm to self or maybe other people. Next. All right, so what can we do as parents? Then again, resonating some of the ideas that some of these parents have talked about already. Yeah, monitor, talk to your kids, listen to them, see how they're doing in terms of their health, in terms of their behavior, in terms of their thoughts, and how they feel. Lesson is a two-way communication. Kids coming in and talk to us and talk to me, and kids kind of complaining, Mom, you're not listening to me. Yeah, but you're not listening to me too. It's a two-way street. It is a two-way street. Sometimes we're going to have to pause and listen to them. And then really listen to them. And then go from there. This is a big one. This is a very big one. Especially for me as well, yeah? We really, as adults, as parents, need to learn and model our own stress management. What happens to us when we're stressed? As we mentioned before, the apples, they don't fall far from the family tree. How are we adjusting ourselves?